Hi everyone, it's Ray here from Man City Fan TV. Today I'm here at Parc des Princes, the home of PSG, and that's because I want to talk about a new signing that City have made from PSG, a young kid called Claudio Gomes. Now Claudio Gomes will officially sign for City on Monday the 23rd of July, even though he's in America right now training with the boys. Claudio Gomes started playing as a kid with his hometown club Argenteuil, which is in the northwest suburbs of Paris. He's been favourably compared to N'Golo Kante, and there are some similarities. He's a tiny lad. He's only 5'4", which is about 1 metre 64 centimetres tall, and he also plays as a defensive midfielder. Back in January this year, he decided to join Manchester City. I think they wanted the transfer to go through in January, but FIFA said he had to wait until his 18th birthday, which is on the 23rd of July. Now PSG have lost a lot of young talent over recent years, including Kingsley Coman, Zagadou, Mahmoud Doucouré, Fode Baltouré, Boubakary Samare, and now Claudio Gomes too. The sporting director of the training club has said Gomez's decision to leave PSG has hurt the club. He said, "When you see talent in a young person, you have to anticipate everything and put it forward. When a youth leaves the training centre, he must be strong, from a mental, football and physical point of view. But we must stop this hemorrhage to PSG." Last June, PSG made an offer of a new contract to Gomes, and Gomez's team came back in July with a counter offer. Whilst there was a period of stalemate between the two sides, City rushed in with former PSG player Mikel Arteta, who's a coach at Manchester City, and he convinced Gomes of Pep's project. Gomez's family said they were not interested in the financial aspects of a deal, but they were more concerned about football and a career plan. And I think at the time, Gomes was a little bit disappointed not to be in the then coach Unai Emery's plans, even though he was only 17 years old. And he was also worried about what had happened to other youth players at PSG. When Pep was asked if Claudio Gomes could be part of the first team squad, especially after the departure of Yaya Toure and the failure to sign Jorginho, Pep smiled in the way only Pep can smile, and he said, "He has been so good, so good." When Pep was asked about the chances of signing another defensive midfielder after the failure to sign Jorginho, he reeled off a whole host of other players that could play in that position. He said, "We have Fernandinho and Ilkay Gundogan who can play in this position, and Alex can also play there." That's Alex Zinchenko. There is also Fabian Delph, and we have one or two young guys, Douglas Luiz and Claudio Gomes, the young guy who came from France. Specifically on Gomes, he said, "My opinion is that at that age, you have to play. You need minutes, if not with us, then with the second team. But it could be like with Phil Foden and Brahim Diaz. He could stay with us because from what we have seen in these days, the impression is good, so good." He's currently training with the City squad over in America. And I think the plan is to keep him with the first team until January and then see how he's developed and decide whether he needs to go out on loan. I was speaking recently to Ewan from EMAC Sports, and he's very excited to see Claudio Gomes play, and he really can't wait for his first game, hopefully, for City this week in one of the friendlies in America. Here in France, it's this rumour that Claudio Gomes will be elevated into the City first team squad. That's been given as one of the reasons that City didn't push through with the Jorginho deal anymore. They didn't want to get into a bidding war with Chelsea, and they let him go to Stamford Bridge. I think if we had got Jorginho this summer, then he would have been, I wouldn't say a bit part player, but he would have been second choice initially to Fernandinho, who had an absolutely stellar season last year. But Fernandinho will be 34 this season, and I could have seen Jorginho being integrated as the season progressed and possibly taken over from Fernandinho for next season. And since, as I believe, that Jorginho wouldn't have been first choice for most of this season, and maybe that's influenced the City hierarchy and the management team there to think that possibly this little kid Claudio Gomes could actually take the position that Jorginho would have taken and be the understudy to Fernandinho, looking forward to possibly taking over next season, even though he'll only be 19 years old. So Claudio Gomes is a young kid with huge talent and fantastic potential. He was recently voted the best young talent in French Ligue 1's youth team system. And he's also captained PSG's youth team. I think the last time you saw this sort of glint in Pep Guardiola's eyes was this time last year when he talked about Phil Foden. Could Claudio Gomes go on to be a future star at City? Well, it's early days yet, but I think we're going to find out very, very soon. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please get tapping away down below and click the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon for notifications so you're notified when we make new videos. And please remember, everybody who subscribed by the start of the season with the first game against Arsenal will be entered into a free prize draw for a City related prize. See you around, Blues.